The ecosystem in Wuthering Waves is simply one of a kind. You murder some kids from this species, harvest their souls into your capsule, use them for whatever sus entertainment or battle that you desire, and the best part about it is, they have no say in the matter. I've praised Wuwa's ecosystem time and time again, but it goes without saying that it's not perfect. Despite me saying so, the goal of this video is to turn your Echo experience from a nightmare to a blissful one. There are simple ways to enhance the Echo raising experience and pitfalls that many players fall into. I can confidently say that I have every resonator on my account with double crit echoes on every piece, and it's an inspiring feeling to know that I don't actually have to raise certain characters ever again. I don't do any stamina resets, despite the ones that are given to us of course, nor do I grind echoes all day. Okay, maybe at one point I did, but that's not even a requirement. My name is Void Enigma, and I'll be explaining how to effectively optimize your echoes on all of your characters. With these methods, you'll be able to attain peak efficiency with raising echoes, but you don't have to waste your tuners and echo level up material. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. I want to remind you all that when you're actually grinding for echoes in Renacida, there are these 3 knights that will always drop an echo when you kill them. You can kill them daily to potentially get some good echoes, so keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about the Echo Pity drop rate. When you're going around the world and killing echoes, there's a pity for when they're guaranteed to drop an echo. Overlord and Calamity class echoes, or the 4-cost echoes, are guaranteed to give you an echo every 2 kills. Elite monsters, or the 3-cost echoes, are guaranteed to give you an echo after 4 kills. The common tacit discord echoes, or the 1-cost echoes, are guaranteed to give you an echo drop after 8 kills. Additionally, Overlord and Calamity class echoes are guaranteed to drop the first 15 times per week that you actually kill them. This resets every Monday, so make sure that every Monday you go out there and kill the boss that you actually want to grind for their echo set, because you're going to get the first 15 drops guaranteed. What this means is, the drop for an echo is guaranteed on that particular kill, being 2 for the Overlord and Calamity, 4 for the Elites, and 8 for the Common. You can, of course, get the echo earlier, and in doing so, that pity will reset. Besides those knights that spawn out of the void, hey, that's me! There are other echoes that are guaranteed to drop. Any tacit discord that you see that has a steaming aura about them is 100% going to give you an echo on kill. There are also a ton of respawnable elite monsters that spawn every 24 hours or so in the overworld, and they all look like this and they're littered across the map. They'll always be dropping an echo. One thing that I did notice though is that if there are a group of these mobs, it's not always guaranteed that they will all drop an echo, but you will get at least one from the whole group. When you are in the overworld farming these echoes, a strategy for the elites is to farm 2 that are not the ones that you want, and then you kill the ones that you do want for the 3rd or 4th kill. This is effective in increasing your odds of getting the correct echo. The thing about this strategy is that it is time consuming, but effective. You will eventually get all of your echoes, but this is a way to kind of speed up the process. Of course, you'll definitely want to be doing this when you actually max out your databank so that you're 100% guaranteed to get 5-cost echoes. So if you're not at this stage yet, just hold off. Casually collect your echoes and you'll eventually get to the stage where you can actually farm them. Otherwise, you can rely on tacit fields, which is the best way to get the correct echoes. Well, it's the fastest way. It will eliminate some of the RNG from getting echoes, as you're guaranteed to only get it from 2 particular sets, but this costs way too much of wave plates to actually be utilized well. You should only be using tacit fields to farm echoes once you have completely leveled all of your characters, weapon, and forte, and then you can set your eyes on the time sink of echo farming with tacit fields. I'm at the point now where I have most of my characters at a suitable level, but a beginner may take months to get to this level. Don't do this too early because it's 100% a time sink and you'll waste your overall potential and leave your characters not raised. When you have nothing else to farm or nothing else to raise, then you can start this process. Rely on the other methods to get echoes in the meantime. So far, this isn't too complicated, but let's talk about the biggest mistake that people can make when raising echoes. Well, it's literally raising them wrong. But we won't be making that mistake, since by the end of this video, you'll be able to raise echoes correctly. And you can also raise the subscriber count on this channel by subscribing and liking this video, yeah? I've developed a little thing called the Echo Efficiency Guide, and it goes as follows. Each useful line is worth 20% of an echo, up to 100% of course. If you want to get nerdy, you can actually assign a value from like 10 to 20% depending on how high the roll is, but nonetheless, for simplicity, each useful line for the character for each echo is worth 20%. Let's take Carlotta. since she is the last main carry that everyone actually has, or a lot of people have. Carlotta wants the following substats: crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, flat attack, resonant skill damage, and energy recharge. Each of these are worth 20% when they actually appear on an Echo. A perfect Echo will have 5 of these stats. So if you have an Echo that has crit rate and crit damage, but flat defense, flat HP, and HP percent, then that Echo would be at 40% efficiency. So even if you have an Echo that has double crit, it may not be as optimal as an Echo that has, say, 5 other useful stats to supplement that. Of course, double crit is always valuable and should be considered to be the standard for your main and sub DPS damage dealers. Double crit is actually mandatory. You should aim for each Echo to have at least 60% efficiency across all of the Echoes to be suitable for endgame. 3 good substats out of 5. Even if your crit rolls are the absolute lowest, it is still way more valuable than a piece without it. For your healers and supports, these values are not as important. The main stat is more valuable, but you should be aiming for about 60% efficiency, minus maybe 1 or 2 crit stats. Use your best judgment, because for someone like Verena, she really doesn't need stats at all. She just needs main stats to actually function well, so don't go out of your way to max out the Echo efficiency on supports. If you're confused on what substats on the characters to go for, then leave a comment down below and I'll clarify it for each character that you ask about. As overwhelming as this is at first, once you actually start gearing all your characters, this process will actually be very simple. But let's talk about how to ease the process of actually raising the Echo. Stop maxing every Echo that you find. You are wasting resources, and honestly, it's not very healthy to see your sanity on the edge of breaking. Here's the effective way to actually raise your Echoes to avoid the heartache of not having tuners and sealed tubes. Firstly, when you raise an Echo, raise them only to level 5, no further. After you get it to level 5, you're going to tune it once. If it's a useless stat that you won't need, it's trash. Throw it out, do not raise it any further. It's trash, it's useless, forget about it. Otherwise, if it's a useful stat, especially if it's crit, then you can continue to raise it to level 10. Now, before you actually think to use a level 25 Echo to raise your next Echo, do not do that. Instead, use sealed tubes or wait until you actually have sealed tubes, because you're wasting a ton of Echo experience that you could be using on an Echo that's actually worth raising. In the long haul, this will save you so much materials. Now to follow up, now that you've gotten your Echo to level 10 after getting a useful substat, you're going to tune it again. The following steps are for main carries, and use your own judgment for your supports because they don't need that much investment. If the first substat is crit and then you get a useless stat for the second substat, you can continue to raise it to 15. If the first substat is useful and you get another useful stat that is not crit, then you can continue to raise it to 15. If the first stat is useful and you get a useless substat, then trash the Echo, it's useless, do not raise it. Now, big moment here. If the first 3 lines of the Echo, once you get to level 15, don't have crit, no matter what you see or what potential or how you're going to convince yourself, trash it. The goal is to get Echoes that have crit rate and crit damage on your damage dealer. If you don't get one or the other by level 15, it's trash. If you actually have one or the other, then you're free to raise these Echoes to level 25, but if you have only one crit line and all the other substats are useless, then honestly, I wouldn't even bother raising it any further. Having an Echo with crit rate and crit damage but no useful substats is fine, but leaves so much room for improvement. Using this method, you will save yourself so much Echo experience, sealed tubes, and tuner. It's actually insane. It's useless to raise Echoes to the max level for no reason if it has no potential. Sure, you can get insanely lucky and the last lines can be perfect, but more often than not, that will not be the case, especially if the first 2 to 4 lines are all useless. You do not want to be disappointed with actually maxing out an Echo for no reason, wasting your time and resources. As time consuming as this can feel, once you integrate it into your daily Echo raising routine, it will become very easy to keep up. This keeps my inventory of trash Echoes so that I can always use these trash Echoes to raise that golden Echo that I finally find that triumphs over all the rest. So you can take a look at my current characters and see how optimal their builds are. Let's take my Carlotta for instance. Also a side note, for most characters, you can use an attack percent for the 3 cost piece in place of the elemental damage one, and the difference in damage will always come down to the substats. Now, Carlotta's main 4 cost Echo has 60% efficiency because it has 3 useful substats. The first 3 cost Echo has 80% efficiency, 4 useful substats. The second 3 cost Echo has 80% efficiency, 4 useful substats. Both the 1-cost echoes for Carlotta have 60% efficiency each. Now if we average it out, that gives us 68% efficiency, which is above average. Anything above 60% would be considered optimal. I'm still working on replacing these 1-cost pieces along with the main 4-cost piece to make my Carlotta even closer to have better efficiency, but you can consider this complete. I'm just a min-maxer and I have no business doing this, but hey, it's my account, so whatever. You can do this with each of your characters to see how good your total build is per character, and where you can improve. Don't min-max unless you have literally nothing to use your wave plates on. With these tips, you'll have all your characters geared up in no time. Remember, don't spend too much resources on characters that are functional without echo sets. Your Varinas, your Shorekeepers, your Sanhuas, your Mortifees, they don't need perfect echoes, and of course echoes help, but they can do their role without actually getting the echo substats perfect. This echo efficiency guide is meant for your damage dealers and sub DPS damage dealers who need more power for their builds. Echo farming can be made easy, and this is how to make it that much easier. It took me about 1 to 3 days to actually finish Carlotta's build, and I got Zheji's new build done and usable within about a week without even using any resets for Zheji. You can achieve this as well if you follow these tips, so go out there and commit genocide on a species of echoes and have fun doing it. Wait, that was the wrong outro. Make sure to subscribe and like this video, everyone, and thank you so much for the recent support. I really appreciate it. We are so close to 7K subs, so please hit that subscribe button to help us get there. This has been Void Enigma, and until next time, Enigma out.